Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. I'm in my swing studio and I'm going to show you a couple of great exercises using a TheraBand around your legs. Stay tuned to find out more. Right, so I've got the TheraBand in place and I've placed the band just below my kneecaps. And this is a great drill for two exercises or for two swing faults. So one part of this is if you are a slider where your hips, your lower body are actually sliding away from the target, you need to try and keep some width between your knees, keep that resistance there on the backswing. So rather than sliding my lead knee into my trail leg here where the band starts going slack, I actually want to maintain some pull, some width between my knees so I can really feel that with the TheraBand. When you do look at these TheraBands, there's different styles or different types of resistance. Generally the darker colours, so this one being a black, hasn't got a lot of resistance, has got a lot of resistance to it. If you go for some of the lighter colours, the yellows, the reds, they tend to stretch quite a lot. But it doesn't really matter whether it's a TheraBand like this one that's a loop or something you've actually got to tie a knot in, but just some kind of tubing where you can tie it around your legs to feel that stretch, feel that resistance, rather than something going slack. So if you are a slider away from the target too much this way and it causes some problems with your downswing sequence, then actually maintaining some width here will really help. It'll also help shorten the backswing. So if you end up getting too long because you slide and these hips over-rotate and everything gets too long, and again, a lack of sequence on the downswing, keeping some width between the knees should start to shorten up your backswing as well and get you a little bit more synced on the downswing. The second part with this drill is at the start of the downswing. So what I see so many golfers do from here is just try and spin their hips out. Their trail foot comes up very, very early. Their right knee, their trail knee actually squeezes in towards their lead leg very, very early on the downswing because they're just downswingers. They're just trying to rotate. What we actually want to feel on the downswing is a bit of a sit and squat. So what I'm trying to do is increase the resistance here, or the pull, the stretch between my knees, what I can feel there in the TheraBand. And I'm feeling that by keeping my trail knee where it is, but my lead knee, and I've talked about this before, as you'll know, is moving out and around to the left. Okay, so I'm increasing that width between the knees as I sit into the downswing, just until the club gets to last parallel here, where I'm then actually rotating more and more towards the target with this pivot. Okay, so this is a great exercise for two reasons. Let me go ahead and just make a couple of swings at a roughly face-on position. So what I'm trying to feel is that I keep some gap between these knees, keep this band tight rather than allowing it to slide on the backswing. And on the downswing, I really want to feel like I increase that width between my knees before I really rotate towards the target. Okay, so the first move at the start of the downswing is a little bit downward pressure into our lead leg, not a real slide towards the target or that trail foot coming up too early. So from here, increase the gap between the knees, really feel that pull of the band, and then fire through. Let's go ahead. I'm going to try and hit a couple of shots. I'm going to go one just with a bit of a stopping movement, so stop at the top, stop on the downswing, and then fire through, and then I'll try a fuller one. So, I'm going to wind up to the top, feeling the pull still between the band, increase the gap between my knees, and then fire those hips through. Just a little bit heavy, that one. When you're striking, when you're doing an exercise like this, I wouldn't worry too much about the contact, too much about the strike. And let's do one more on a full swing. This speed may just be a little down with it. So I'm just going to feel that pull between my knees, keeping that gap, increasing the gap between my knees and firing through. That felt very solid. Nice high draw, pretty much bang on target. Didn't lose me any yardage actually, that one. That's about where I'm at with a 7-iron, about a 165-ish carry. Let's quickly look at the data, but again, not too important. So on both shots, I hit down on the ball by about 4.5 degrees. My swing path was exactly the same on both of them, 3.9 in to out. The second one, which I really liked there, the club face, was just slightly open to the target, hence that ball starting right to target before drawing to the left. Good contact, good dynamic loft, really happy with that. You can see it starting right to target, bending onto target, but the important thing here really is the feeling that you create when you're using this TheraBand, maintaining that gap between the knees, increasing the gap between the knees on the start of the downswing before you pivot through. Give these drills a go. I know they're going to help your game. If you're a slider away from the target or you're struggling with that start of the downswing move, get yourself a TheraBand, really cheap, really useful. Get it out on the driving range or the practice nets. It will really give you that feeling of what you're trying to do in the backswing and the start of the downswing with your lower body. Do post some comments and questions below. Make sure you check us out on all the social media info coming along the bottom of the screen, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.